Hey guys, it's Dr. Floric here, back with part 2 of my Wolf Tales playthrough. So last time, we did the first ending. We went for Mirari, and we went through her ending, and it was awesome, and I loved it. And this time, we're going through Fuyu, which admittedly I am most excited about. And I specifically saved Best Girl so that we could go. So that we could romance her last, so that she would be the most fresh upon the brain. Because I love Fuyu so much. Okay, so we're gonna name myself the same thing I did the first time. Because this way it's, I don't know, it's whatever, consistent, I don't know. Anyway, so this will almost certainly be the finale, and even more than that, it actually might end up being shorter than the other, it might end up being shorter than the other one. Like, it might be short enough that I might like make another video of some kind, just because, like, I think especially because, like, a lot of these options will be the same, and what we do will be the same too, because in the guide there's only like 2 decisions that, like, really super matter, you know what I mean? And so a lot of the rest of this is just fluff, but a lot of what I said the first time is what I'm going to say the second time, because the other thing sounds really mean, you know what I mean? And so it's like, again, I don't know if it would be mean, but it might be. And so there's a few of the options that'll be the same. So, well, you know, so I imagine the skip is going to be, you know, a lot of the stuff that's the same, like all this beginning stuff, like there's, like, you know, like, there's no reason to see like this one, like, cause like I said, that, like, there's only like 2 or 3 like major decisions, and the rest of it is just fluff. So the thing is, like, I'm not gonna be mean to her this time, because I wasn't mean to her before, and, like, the guide is like, yeah, you're gonna want to say this. You don't have to say this, but that's just because that person who made the guide likes to be as romantic as possible to the other person, but that doesn't help me, right? Because I am not gonna be mean to Mirari just because I'm romancing Fuyu, you know what I mean? So I'm obviously gonna say, like, again, I'm gonna say the same thing. And so a lot of this stuff is going to be repeats, and it's going to be the same thing. Now, this one, I'm tempted to do something different, because, like, I'm tempted for this one to do something different, because, like, in this one, she's saying, I'm used to doing this stuff, and so, like, this one, you could do something different, like, just, like, you know, leave it alone, or something, you know what I mean? That's unexpected, but certainly not unwelcome. If you're willing to help out a little bit, I'd be happy to get your assistance with a few more things. Of course, leave it to me. Whatever chore you throw at me, I'd be happy to. There we go. And now after this point, I'm willing to bet it's the same, right? Yup. Okay. Okay, so now this is once again when she was dragging her out the door. And again, I don't really want to go up and clock her, you know? So it's like, again, this is another one. I'm just going to call out to her and say the same thing. So, you know, not super different. All right. Now, this one, the guide can say, you know, it's not bad, but again, like, does that sound mean? I don't know. You know, it's like, does that sound mean? I'm not sure. I mean, this is what I said the first time. And just because I'm being nice to one doesn't mean I have to, you know, I'm gonna say the same thing. Like, a lot of that stuff is the same, and I'm not gonna be mean to Mirari just because. Now this one, I think I also was nice the first time, because she's like, is having us here causing you distress? And the last time I'm like, no. And I'm not gonna, again, also not gonna be mean. And now we are romancing Fuyu this time, but even so. So yeah, obviously that's the same. Okay. And then this one, I'd better go find them, is obviously. Now that's what we did the first time too. Better go find them. Okay, obviously all this is the same. Nothing new there. There's the very cute snowball fight, but obviously we did get that the first time too. We don't have to censor this because she's covering just enough that I won't get in trouble. Now this one, definitely take a nap, but we did get this the first time too. So obviously she falls asleep on your legs, which is super cute. And then this one, which is also what we said the first time, it's also what the guide recommends. So we, you know, give a little bit of a fib and say that we fell asleep while snuggling. Okay. Now this one will be different, because this one we keep watching, because last time we were gonna tell her about the city and Fuyu was like, fine, I just wanted to see this, but fine, you know. Oh, well, shout out to me for opening that. Now I'm gonna have to censor that part of the screen. Well done, idiot. Well done, idiot. I did a save right over an ecchi scene, and so now I'm gonna have to edit that part of the screen. So well done, me. All right. So this one will be different because this time we're gonna keep watching. After a few more scenes in the city, the focus returns to the grasslands. The camera pans between rabbits hopping around, insects feeding on plants, and fish swimming in a crystal clear river. Aw, aren't they going to show any more of the human city? I sure hope not. Yeah, I agree with Scarlet. We chose this video to learn more about animals from another environment, not to gawk at human beings. I suppose so. Yawn. Hearing Mirari yawn and seeing her struggle to keep her eyes open, I reach for the remote and turn the television off. Supported by my action, Fuyu looks over at me. Surprised. Sorry, not supported. Surprised by my action. I nod towards Mirari, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the television is off, at which point Fuyu immediately understands. Alright, I think that's enough for tonight. We can continue watching the video some other time. For now, let's all go to bed. Aw, but I want to talk about human civilization. Oh, good idea, human. Or rather, that's exactly what I was thinking. Come here, princess, let's go to sleep. Okay then, if you insist. Good night, Scarlet. Good night, Mirari, Fuyu. Good night. Without further complaint, Mirari curls up on the couch alongside Fuyu. Fuyu soon joins her and snuggles up close as if making up for their dissonance moments ago. Content, I'm such a YouTuber, oh my god. Content to leave the duo just like that, I retreat to my bedroom and head to bed myself. So, you know, it's almost not different at all, you know? Just like, the big stuff is gonna be different. But otherwise, that's it. Okay. Keep watching is what we did. So this next one will be following Fuyu, so we can just skip this stuff because this is all the same. Okay, so this is the big one. This is the one of, I think, 2 big decisions. So this one will be different. We absolutely should have gone longer in the last video and just kept it going. This is gonna be like a 15-minute video. Like, we absolutely should have just tacked this on. That was such a stupid decision. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I'm so mad at myself right now. Like, I could have put this in one video easily. It's like, oh no. Anyway, it's fine. Maybe it'll be a little longer because there will be a few differences. Maybe it'll be longer. Anyway, okay. Well, I want to save it again, but I'll have to do more editing, but okay, it's fine. Alright, so obviously this time we are following Fuyu, which will be very different. So, this is right after the big fight. So they had this big fight again. Fuyu slaps Mirari. Now, last time, of course, we were romancing Mirari, oh my god. Mirari, sorry, she's not a car. Anyway, Mirari, sorry. We were romancing Mirari, and so we stuck around. So, this time, while Fuyu stormed off, we actually run after Fuyu this time. So, this is much different. Before she can disappear from my sight, I quickly follow after Fuyu. Departing from the same door which I've just entered, Fuyu runs out into the snow, seemingly without any purpose or direction. She simply runs straight ahead, intent on creating as much distance between herself and Mirari as she can. Slow down, would you? I'm not as athletic as you are. Scarlet, what are you... Oh, I get it. The princess couldn't bring herself to face me, so she sent you to do her bidding, is that it? Fuyu, initially surprised to see me, quickly adopts an expression of annoyance. Her bid for solitude has failed, and rather than be greeted by the face of her best friend, the one who chases after her is her least favorite human. Nobody sent me anywhere. I just saw you running away from the cabin in tears, so I thought I'd better check up on you. I wasn't in tears, and if I was, they were righteous tears of anger. Righteous anger, huh? What happened? Did Mirari refuse to give you seconds for breakfast? I played dumb and intentionally provoked Fuyu, thinking that this way she'll be more likely to slip up and accidentally tell me the truth. Unfortunately, it's none of your business. Get lost, human. My plan fails almost immediately. Come on, Fuyu, don't be like that. Besides, even if you don't tell me, you know that Mirari will. Wouldn't you rather have me hear your side of the story? Why should I care what you hear? It's not like you'd take my side anyway. You don't know that. Try me, I might surprise you. Fuyu turns away, but doesn't actually refuse. After thinking over my words for a moment, she lets out a sigh, then turns to face me once more. Fine, I'll enlighten you. This may be difficult for a human to understand, but within the pack, everyone has their own role and responsibilities. For some of us, that's gathering food. For others, it's building shelter. In Mirari's case, it's her duty to lead us. She must protect us from harm, make difficult decisions about our future, and ensure that everyone does their part to help out. Most importantly, it's up to our leader to solve any disputes which arise. They must put an end to any bickering and quell unrest within the pack before it becomes a problem. Are you with me so far, Scarlet? Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Make decisions, keep everyone in their place, stop any infighting, typical leadership. Good, just glad this isn't too difficult for you. Now, given the responsibilities of a leader, what do you think would happen if our leader suddenly abandoned us? A new leader would be chosen? A new leader would take the position by force. Democracy has never worked for my kind. At the end of the day, whoever is strongest will attempt to seize control, with or without the support of the pack. In the best case scenario, they take over without a fight, and everybody accepts their new leader right away. If they don't, or if more than one person puts their hand up, then there's a power struggle. The wannabe leaders kill one another, or if they don't want to fight, they take their own followers and form their own pack. Either way, the pack loses its power. It's reduced in size, possibly fragmented, and everyone needs to cover multiple roles to fill in the gaps. But don't think that's the end of the matter, Scarlet. What I've just described is simply the beginning. I unconsciously gulp as I try to take in everything that Fuyu has just told me. Honestly, I'm surprised. Mirari's desertion is beginning to sound far more serious than I thought. I can now see why Fuyu is so serious about bringing Mirari back home with her. Wow, that's quite a lot to process. I never thought Mirari's disappearance would have such a profound impact. Well, now you understand. Can I count on you to give Mirari a push in the right direction when the time comes? Alright, hang on a minute. Change the subject is what we're supposed to say. I'll think about it. Before we talk about that, I do have one question to ask. What is it? You've explained to me how important the role of a leader is and why Mirari needs to return and fulfill her rightful position. But one thing you haven't addressed is Mirari's qualification. Her qualification? What do you mean? What I mean is, Mirari clearly has no intention or desire to become the pack's next leader. If that's the case, then why do you really think she'll do a good job? And if an unwilling party becomes the leader, won't there wind up being a power struggle anyway? It seems to me like just having Mirari come back doesn't really solve anything. No, but, Fuyu looks away as she mulls over my observation. It seems like she's yet to think that far ahead, and considering how much trouble Mirari has given her already, I'm not surprised. I can't say that you're wrong. Even if the princess returns, it's not as though that will solve all of our problems. But even so, Fuyu returns her gaze to my face and looks me straight in the eye. Do you really think that Mirari would be okay with this? Huh? What do you mean? Like what? You know, out here, all alone, living like you do. The princess may say she wants to separate from the pack, but do you think she's really capable of it? Ah, so you're saying that you're talking about Mirari's well-being now rather than that of the pack. No, I can't say that I think Mirari would be suited to the life of a loner. And it takes a great deal of strength, both physical and mental, to live on your own, far removed from society. I may not know Mirari as well as you do, but personally, I don't think she'd cope. Indeed, I believe we are in agreement. The princess' strength lies in how she interacts with others. On her own, she's quite hopeless. I kind of figured that would be the case. Living in solitude isn't for everyone. I agree. The princess ought to live her life in safety and comfort, surrounded by others. No, not just the princess. I believe that applies to all people. Everyone? That's a bit of a stretch. I'm actually pretty happy to be out here by myself, you know. Are you really? Are you really? Fuyu narrows her gaze as she scrutinizes my face. You say that you're happy out here, but wouldn't you rather be with your friends and family? Wouldn't you prefer to make a difference in the lives of others and to share in their experiences? Well, maybe sometimes. But aren't I already doing what you just suggested? Huh? A smile surfaces on my face as I take the opportunity to share my perspective with Fuyu. You just implied that I should be living with my family, because that way I would make a difference in the lives of people other than myself. But isn't that exactly what I've been doing out here? I don't mean to brag, but a few days ago I saved a life, Mirari's life. If I hadn't been living out here, far away from civilization, that girl would have perished in the snow. Fuyu goes quiet. Even if she doesn't agree with my lifestyle, there's no way she can complain about me saving her friend's life. Anyway, even if I never met Mirari, I don't think there's any shame in choosing to live for and by yourself. I came out here because I wanted to get away from everyone, and that's exactly what I've done. I agree with her, man. I don't think there's any inherent shame in that. Definitely not. So, while I personally don't think my lifestyle would work for Mirari, I'm not about to tell her that what she can and can't do with her life. Maybe she'll miss everyone and come back. Maybe she'll enjoy living in solitude. Either way, I think it's Mirari's decision, and whatever she decides, you're just gonna have to live with it. I agree. I think we're going to have to agree to disagree. I can see your point, and you've given me a lot to think about, but at this moment, I still can't accept Mirari. I still can't accept Mirari's selfishness. That's fine. If you'll agree to try and see things her way, then I think that's plenty. And knowing Mirari, it's probably all she's ever hoped for. Hell yeah, dude. That was so adorable. Let's see. So yeah, this is now repeat. Okay, there's a nice solid edit on my part. All right, hang on a minute. All right, now we can back up, even though the first part of this text is gonna be the same. But okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, so there's another nice little spicy edit on my part. So way to go, me. Anyway, not that that's my fault. What am I supposed to do? Like, that was in the game. What do you want from me? Anyway, right now all I want to do is creak. Oh, for crying out loud! I regretfully open my eyes and peer towards the door to my bedroom. Watching the door carefully, I notice subtle movement as the intruder attempts to open the door more quietly than they started to. A few moments later, a familiar pair of ears enter my line of sight, followed by two timid, curious eyes. Fuyu, what are you doing? It's so cool that it's Fuyu. I know it's funny, but like, for some reason, it seems more in character for Mirari, because she's more affectionate with Scarlet, just on default, rather because Fuyu is more standoffish otherwise. And so for some reason it feels way more exciting that it's Fuyu, like creeping in, just like Mirari did, but obviously what happens is different. Anyway, I'm gonna have to obviously edit this part again, so there's another sweet censor for me. Hell yeah. Just gonna have to do that 50,000 times. Anyway, so yeah, I'm willing to bet that, yeah, so obviously the drama's coming up, because I imagine the interaction, like just like with Mirari and Scarlet, how like, the initial bedroom thing did not go very well and drama ensued. I imagine it'll be a very similar thing for Fuyu and Scarlet, so it's like, at least the first part of this will be enjoyable, but and then there'll be a bad little jump there, and then it'll be hopefully not as bad as I will fear it will be, but either way there'll be a censor. I'll have to edit it out anyway, so, you know, we'll just see what happens, but odds are it'll be pretty much very similar in lots of ways. Is something wrong? If you're hungry again, go ask Mirari to make you something. Without saying a word, Fuyu draws closer. She tiptoes over to my bed, careful not to make too much noise. Once Fuyu has reached over my bed... Solid. There's a sweet, spicy censor for me. Also, damn though. Anyway, so because of the censor, I will have to censor the words, so you're just gonna have to stick with me for as long as I am willing to keep us in this together. She begins to undress. Fuyu, what are you doing? Are you still half asleep? Paying my words no mind, Fuyu removes the rest of her clothes. She then crawls towards me on her hands and knees, not stopping until she reaches my side. Scarlet. An inch away from my face, Fuyu calls my name. Her cheeks are red, her eyes are watery, and I can tell at a glance that she isn't her usual self. Scarlet, please. While facing me, Fuyu opens her legs. Uh-oh. Things are getting real. Okay, now that she's almost naked and on her knees right in front of me, I can see every inch of her body. Despite her embarrassment, Fuyu makes no effort to hide her body from my eyes. It's your fault that I'm like this. I never once felt this way around Mirari or the other members of our pack. So, take responsibility. Fuyu pushes her bare hips closer. Ho-ho! She's getting bold. Probably too bold, though, because I think I am out of here. So, I'm cutting away now. I've had my fill. I will see you guys in a second. Alright. Wow, that was so weird. Okay, so it's really different. You might be surprised to learn that it's like way different. Like, I gotta be honest, my mind is a little bit blown. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so like, wow, okay, so that was different. Okay, so obviously you guys saw what happened. That the interesting thing here is that was really different. So but because, you know, last time Scarlet didn't really have a chance to say anything. Like, and then Mirari just kind of jumped her and things were happening, and then Mirari said, I want you to be my mate, and then it freaked Scarlet out. She's like, oh my god, I'm taking advantage of this poor girl. She's just, it's hormones, she doesn't know what, she doesn't know what's happening, she blah 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 blah, right? This time was very different. This time, Fuyu got real aggressive really quickly, even faster than Mirari did, and but the interesting thing is Scarlet just said that. She said that right to Fuyu's face. She's like, look, she's like, I'm really flattered that you think of me like that. She's like, I'm really flattered that you feel that way, but like, she's like, it's not because we're special. It's not because you specifically like me or anything. She's like, it's just hormones. It's just, and she was like, she like gave the actual explanation that in her head she gave to only herself before, that ended with all that heartache and tears and stuff. You know what I mean? But Fuyu did not care. She's like, are you done? She's like, and so Fuyu, interestingly, she's like, you know, like, I don't care. She's like, look, I don't expect, so what was interesting is that Fuyu basically, she's like, I'm paraphrasing here, but she's like, I don't expect you to feel how I feel. She's like, and I don't know what I'm feeling. She's like, because I've never, like, I feel all hot and I feel all weird, and you're the one that did this to me. And then she's like, and I don't know why, because I've never felt this way around my pack or around Mirari or anybody else. And she's like, so you know, so take responsibility, figure it out. And so then things got all hot and heavy, and Scarlet helped her release her pent-up emotions, so to speak, pent-up something. So Scarlet helped her have a nice, fun release. Let's put it that way. And obviously, and then that's right where we are, is right afterwards. And I skipped a few slides farther than this just to see how bad the heartache was going to be, and it doesn't happen. And at least in this part, maybe there's a heartache coming up, but at least for now, it doesn't happen. So yeah, it's really different. Like, it was really cool. And so yeah, let's hop into it. Anyway, her body falls limp on my mattress, and the only sound still reverberating throughout the room is her ragged breathing. I will say this, though, that something that was also really cool was that, you know, Fuyu did say, she's like, I've never felt like this. She's like, I don't know what's happening to me, and you're the one that did this to me. And so what was happening is Scarlet was helping her out, and then she's like, oh my god, what is happening? What are you doing to me? And she's like, and then obviously it was super great for her, and then that's on the other side of this very fun, unexpected, good time. That's where we are. So anyway. Though her face is red and her hormones are likely still running amok, I have managed to satisfy Fuyu's urges, if only temporarily. Unbelievable. I thought that she might have been in heat, but I never expected Fuyu to come to me about it. Perhaps Fuyu has a better impression of me than I thought. Looking down at Fuyu's peaceful expression as she sleeps, I sigh one more time and resolve to help her out once again. While Fuyu sleeps, I wipe down her body, get her dressed, and roll her onto her back. I then take my place beside her, close my eyes, and try one more time to go to sleep. Damn, who am I kidding? There's no way I'm going to be able to go to sleep after that. This is going to be a long, long night. And that's it. Like, that's it. That's all that happened. Like, it was awesome. Yeah, see? Then we're right back here. Like, before, like, that was not how things went. That was not how things went. It was very stressful. This time, so not only is Fuyu best girl, but that whole scene was just fun. It was just a good time. That was it. There was no angst involved. It was awesome. Anyway, it's not to say that there won't be pain later, but at least for now, hey, that's really cool. Anyway, so obviously some of this is going to be repeat, maybe, but maybe not all of it. So, in the days following my night together with Fuyu, I noticed a clear change in her behavior. While it's nothing as extreme as the night she crept into my bed, she's definitely not her usual self. Every day she follows me around, acting like she has something that she wants to say, but never actually talking to me. Fuyu also steals glances at my face whenever we're eating or watching television, and it seems like she's been clinging to Mirari less and less every day. It's because she has all these feelings, dude. She's like, yeah, suddenly, I'm a lot less clingy than I used to be. While I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for her behavior, the only event which ever comes to mind is the night Fuyu crept into my bed. Are you sure you've eaten enough, Fuyu? You usually eat 3 times this much. Fuyu? Oh, princess. I'm not hungry. I've already eaten my fill. Are you sure? There's still plenty left. Fuyu's like, my mind is somewhere else. Back to ignoring me, huh? Fuyu continues to watch me out of the corner of her eye as Mirari sighs in exasperation. You've changed, Fuyu, more in a couple of nights than I would have thought possible in a lifetime, Scarlet. What did you do to her, exactly? Hey, don't look at me. If Fuyu's changed, it's her own doing. It's like, hey, I didn't do a thing. Perhaps so. But even then, something must have happened to make her want to change herself. Did you sleep with her? He's like, pfft, no. I almost spat out the contents of my mouth as Mirari takes me completely by surprise. What do you mean, sleep with Fuyu? Yes. Did you? Of course not. Mirari stares right through me. My bald face lie only making her lip quirk. I can't meet her gaze. Fuyu is a woman of age. She has not yet taken a maid, and she appears to have taken a liking to you. I see no reason for you to turn down her advances. You make it all sound so simple. Is it not simple? Of course it isn't. I mean, Fuyu's just acting like this because she's in heat, right? So you're concerned that Fuyu will no longer desire you once her hormones have settled down. I wouldn't worry about that. Why shouldn't I? Of all the things weighing on my mind, that's a pretty big one. Smirking to herself, Mirari turns to look at Fuyu. Following her eyes, I do the same thing. The moment I do, my eyes meet Fuyu's and she hurriedly looks away. I don't think you have anything to worry about. We don't just do it with whoever happens to be the closest when our hormones flare up. If Fuyu has chosen you, then you can rest assured that her feelings will not change so easily. Our species mate for life, you know. Smiling from ear to ear, Mirari happily clears the table as we all finish eating. While she's doing that, I look over at Fuyu, who once again turns away in a panic the moment our eyes meet. Even if Mirari says there's nothing to worry about, I should really do something about Fuyu's behavior. If she does like me, and I want her to at least be able to look me in the eye, and if she doesn't, then we need to clear up this misunderstanding as soon as possible. Either way, the two of us are due for a serious talk. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. See, this is already going more swimmingly. I'm still bracing for some level of heartache and pain, but like, I'm hoping it won't. I don't think it'll be as bad as Mirari's was, and Mirari's wasn't even that bad. Despite resolving myself to speak to Fuyu, the next day quickly passes by without me being able to talk to her at all. Every time I try to speak to her, Fuyu either ducks behind the couch or hides behind Mirari or leaves the room. I try to approach her many times, but no matter what I do, she refuses to talk to me. So much for having a serious discussion. I guess I'll just have to wait till Fuyu is calmed down before I try talking to her. Little tear. Giving up for the day, I return to my bedroom. As I go to walk through the door, however, I find someone standing in the way. Fuyu? Ha! Fuyu jumps in fright as I call her name. Fuyu, what are you doing out here? Is there something you'd like to talk to me about? Fuyu says nothing as she stares at me, but it seems like she wants to say something. Perhaps a bit more privacy is a good idea? Would you like to go for a walk? What? Fuyu opens her eyes and mouth wide as she stares at me in shock. The next moment, however... Yes. Yes, I would. To my surprise, Fuyu agrees to the walk. She brushes past me and out the door and quickly descends down the stairs. Better follow her. The air outside is crisp, but not to the point of it being unpleasant. I figure I'm better off trying to talk to Fuyu out here. The outdoors seem to calm her. Beet red, yet smiling faintly, Fuyu walks in front of me. Without looking back at me even once, she sits on the edge of a stump, fidgeting restlessly as she looks down at her fingers. I follow Fuyu over to the fallen tree, then take a seat right next to her. Scarlet, about the other night. Yes, Fuyu? What happened that night? It was all, you know, I only acted that way because of my biology, and, you know, instinct made me do it, or something. So, don't go misunderstanding, okay? It's not as though I like you, or want to be your mate, or anything. Stammering uncontrollably, Fuyu eventually manages to squeeze out a few sentences. Still looking down at her lap, she plays with her fingers as she speaks, just desperate to avoid eye contact at all costs. So it was just a hormonal thing after all. No, it wasn't, you idiot! She doesn't... Oh, no, it wasn't. I should have known better than to go as far as I did. Thankfully, Fuyu doesn't seem to resent me. A little disappointed, I managed to smile and turn to Fuyu. I understand. You were just acting in accordance to your biological urges. We could chalk it up to a mistake of passion and move past it. You don't understand anything at all. Huh? I said you don't understand. I'm not just some slave to my body, you know. I have my own thoughts and free will. There we go. Her little cover snapped. And now Fuyu is like, okay, I do care. Are you happy? I wouldn't do that with someone just because my body told me to, okay? No, I don't get... I know, I get that, but... Didn't you just say... Oh, jeez, forget I said anything. Oh, way to go, Scarlet. You've all messed it up anyway. This is why I can't stand you humans. Jumping to her feet in a huff, Fuyu begins to leave the area. Confused and also somewhat worried about her, I stand up and follow after her. Fuyu, I get that you're feeling temperamental at the moment, but... Shut up, you don't know a damn thing about how I feel. How could a human ever understand what my kind goes through? Fuyu snaps at me the moment I catch up to her. Backing away defensively, Fuyu acts like cornered prey as she creates distance between us. No, it's not just you. Even the princess doesn't get it. None of you understand my feelings at all. None of you even try to understand. Why is Mirari the only one who gets to be selfish? Why can't I take something for myself for once? Even here, away from the pack, I still can't have things my way. Before I realize it, Fuyu's squabble with me has turned into an excuse for her to complain about her lot in life. Out in the forest with nobody but a single human being, Fuyu begins to vent her frustration. Why? Why is it always her? Why is it that no matter what I do, I'm always living in her shadow? Even now, when it's just the three of us, I'm still nothing compared to her. Fuyu, what are you talking about? I don't know what life was like with your pack, but in my cabin, the two of you were equal. Don't lie to me, Scarlet. The princess got here first, she made herself useful, enamored herself with human culture. She even managed to steal your heart. Before I could so much stake my claim, that girl took everything for herself. My heart? What are you trying to say, Fuyu? You don't need to hide it. I can see the way you two look at each other. She's the reason why you don't want to be with me, isn't she? What? Fuyu, Mirari and I don't have that kind of relationship. Like I believe that. You two have already been doing lewd things this entire time behind my back, haven't you? We have not. Mirari's a nice girl and I do like her, but what? But you're the only one with whom I've ever done something like that, Fuyu. She's like, oh. Huh? Fuyu's anger dissipates in an instant, replaced by confusion. Before she can regain her senses and deny my words, I take a seat on a log, prompting Fuyu to do the same. Okay, see? So, alright, that was not as pleasant as it could have been, but it was not bad. It's still going better than Mirari's whole thing. Anyway. Okay, I already said that. We're good. Oh my god, dude, look at her. I can't take it. She's so pretty. I'm so gonna save this add this to my wallpaper collection. Hell yeah, the lonely wolf girl. Look at that achievement, dude. Hell yeah. She hesitates for a moment, then sits next to me, crossing her arms indignantly. Fuyu, I'm sorry about what I said before, but I didn't do it for the reason you're thinking. Humans aren't like half-wolves in that way. We don't mate for life, or want to have kids with people we barely know. Humans tend to spend years with one another before talking about that kind of stuff, and even then it rarely works out. That's why I don't want to enter into that kind of relationship on a whim, or as a consequence of you going into heat. But it's not you, Fuyu. You've done nothing wrong. Taken in by my words, Fuyu sits quietly next to me. I place my hand on Fuyu's head and speak to her in a soft tone of voice. With a gentle smile on my face, I look over at her fondly. Fuyu, I've been alone for a long, long time. And just like you, I have no idea how to act around others. I closed off my heart, starting pushing people away and abandoning everyone and everything I ever cared about, all to start a new life out here on my own. But you know, in the short time you and Mirari have been here, you showed me how impossible my goal was from the very beginning. I was wrong to think that I was better off alone. The time I've spent with the two of you has been the most fun I've had in years. And I think if you opened your heart, if you allowed someone else to see your true self for once, instead of getting defensive, you might feel the same way. I mess up Fuyu's hair slightly with my hand, then remove my hand from her head and lean back. Even so, I know how hard it is to change. I also know what a big decision this is and how great of an effect it'll have on your life. That's why I won't make any careless promises to you. If you're serious about wanting a relationship with me, Fuyu, then you'll need to be patient. I need my partner to be someone who takes this matter as seriously as I do, and won't give up everything on a whim. I need someone who shares the same ideals I do. Fuyu remains silent as she listens to my words. Other than expressing minor displeasure at having her hair ruffled, Fuyu remains attentive, barely changing her expression or breaking her concentration. Once I finish speaking, Fuyu looks away with a serious expression on her face, still clinging to a... I know that word, but I don't remember how to pronounce it. Modicum? Is that how you say that? Maybe? Of defiance. Insolent human. I already told you I don't want anything like that from you. But you do, don't you? I'm not talking to you anymore. Fuyu pouts and continues to avoid eye contact. I take that as Fuyu signaling that she needs some time alone to think about everything I've just told her. Alright, I understand. I'm gonna head back inside now. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Fuyu. Wait. Fuyu hurriedly stops me as I begin to stand, but immediately realizes she has nothing specific to say. I don't mind if you want to stay here a little while longer. Just for a little while, and not to talk or anything. We sit outside while Fuyu calms down. The night air is becoming chilly, and we have to go back inside shortly, but for now, I'm content to sit here with Fuyu. After some time, it's surprisingly Fuyu that speaks up first. Hey, you've really been able to make a go of it out here on your own? For a human woman, isn't that pretty strange? I guess. So if even someone like you can make it, I probably could too. What are you saying, Fuyu? Do you want to become a lone wolf? I don't know. I haven't even considered the option until now. All my life I've been told to live for the pack and their rules, to serve Mirari's family. But if someone had just told them that we didn't need to be like that, maybe things would be okay. Do you resent her? Mirari? No. She's just as much of a victim of circumstance as I am. She's been groomed from a young age to be the next pack leader. Though, seeing her refuse to go back to the pack makes my blood boil. Fuyu is silent again before speaking up once more. Maybe I can even live out here with you. That's the last thing I expected you to say. Yeah? So what? It's not like it's shameless for two girls to live together. That's also the last thing you should be saying after the other night. Can half-wolves even accept a female couple? It's not common, but it's not something anyone concerns themselves with. We have much more pressing obligations like food or rival clan attacks. It can also be beneficial to have extra parents around to take care of the cubs. I wasn't expecting that. Why? Human civilization is a bit flipped around. At the top of the food chain, we no longer have to worry about food or our everyday safety, but we're always caught up in squabbles over how someone else lives their lives. Who cares about how humans live? What I'm saying is, if a half-wolf wanted to take another female as a mate, that's fine. Actually, a human mate would be weirder. Fuyu scratches her chin, no doubt thinking about the pros and cons of a human and half-human relationship. Shockingly to myself, I urge her to head back inside the cabin with me. At this rate, I think we'll be able to return to normality in no time. Hell yeah, that was so positive by comparison. Like, that was so positive by comparison. It was just like, look, like, I do like you, but I want it to mean something. I want to make sure it's important to you just as it is to me. And, like, that was so positive. Like, Mirari's was so depressing for a while. Hell yeah. Anyway. Hell yeah. That was awesome. Okay. Sorry, my nose is all stuffed up. Oh, man. If I didn't take my allergy meds, imagine how bad this would be. If you think it's annoying now, you should see what it's like before. Okay. A few days have passed since Fuyu and I had our nighttime discussion. Given time to process what was said, both girls gradually return to their usual selves, and we go back to how we were before our trip to the hot spring. Aside from the accidental sidelong glance, we return to our previous dynamic without incident. Okay, there we go. I think we already saw this part. Okay, now this one is different, right? Yeah, this one's different. I feel a little bad about deceiving the girls, but... Whoa! Scarlet? Watch out, it's going out of control! Yeah! Princess! Gert, you fiend, get away from her! God, it's a tough one! Fuyu, don't get any closer, the sight of wolf girls excites it! What? Fuyu turns bright red in the face. Contemptible beast, get away from me! Don't worry, I've got this under control. Just a little more. Got it. Having cleaned the floor around where we usually eat, I turn the vacuum cleaner off. The moment I do, the noise stops, both wolf girls begin to relax. Is it dead? Careful, princess, it may be lulling us to a false sense of security. Allow me to investigate. Okay, be careful. Easy does it. Easy. Now! Hey, what are you... Stop that, chomp. The moment Fuyu enters striking range... Okay, I think actually this part I think is the same. Ah, there we go. This is a new one. I shift my gaze to Fuyu for a moment as I speak those... Oh, wait, okay, well, you might as well read the final words then. And then, when all this is over, if you still want to come back and see me, I'll welcome you with open arms. I shift my gaze to Fuyu for a moment as I speak those final words. Quickly averting her eyes, Fuyu tries her best to conceal the blush on her face as she attempts to retain her serious expression. Very well. I'll go and fulfill my obligation. But wait, obviously, no, this one is the same. Alright, tell them to wait. Let us... Hang on a second. I interrupt Mirari mid-sentence. Now, I realize from here there's probably a little bit of repeat, but from here on it's all the finale, so we'll just read through this part. I interrupt Mirari mid-sentence, causing the wolf girls to look at me in surprise. I know I said you should leave, but I didn't mean right now. Stay here for tonight. Eat well, sleep well, and prepare yourself for what you'll soon be facing. But I place my index finger over Mirari's lips as she tries to protest. You almost died twice in the short time we've known each other, Mirari. Please don't tempt fate a third time. Make whatever preparations you need to tonight, then settle everything tomorrow. Would you do that for me, Mirari? Alright, I understand. If you're the one asking me, Scarlet, then I'll do as you say. Now, just hold on a minute there. We don't have time to play around here any longer. Even now, our kin must be... You too, Fuyu. Huh? I placed my hand, which was resting on Mirari's lips a moment ago, on Fuyu's shoulder. I know you feel like you need to go right this second without any delay, but please, think about this for a second. Your friend needs urgent care, and Mirari just learned of her mother's death. Do you really think that rushing headfirst into action is the right thing to do? Well, that is... And of course, there's your own health to worry about as well, Fuyu. Mine? That's right. You're on edge, surprised, and feeling restless. You're worried about your kin, but also about your friends right here. If you go out there while your head is muddled, you're only going to wind up getting hurt. And the last thing I want for you is to wind up in the same state as your friend here. Scarlet. With slightly reddened cheeks, Fuyu opens her eyes wide and stares at me. Ahem. Ah! Fuyu jumps in surprise as her injured friend suddenly clears her throat. Honestly, you two, you'd allow yourselves to be charmed by a human girl so easily? I'm disappointed in you both, especially you, Fuyu. What happened to the cautious soldier who despised humans and claimed that they weren't to be trusted? Has this woman truly tamed you in such a short amount of time? Mirari and Fuyu both look down at their feet as their friend chides them. The injured wolf girl doesn't mince her words, nor does she display any joy on her face as she speaks. She truly is bewildered by the choices of her companions. That being said, the human may have a point. Our opponent is formidable. If you go out there without a plan, you'll likely end up rushing to your deaths. Before you leave, let me explain to you in depth what's going on and who you're facing against. Hell yeah. On track for a spicy ending. For the next couple of hours, the wolf girls talk to their friend while treating her wounds. Mirari and Fuyu listen intently to the events that have transpired during their absence. From the search for Mirari to the avalanche and the coup, all of the drama is recounted for the sake of the two girls. Mother, I had no idea. While we were idling around here, our pack has been... Yeah, I'm afraid things haven't been going well since your disappearance, Princess. Most of the problems we now face are the results of recent weather conditions. But be that as it may, and the absence of a leader has naturally compounded the issue. I can't believe everyone fell to pieces the moment our leader vanished. Functioning as a pack is great and all, but when did we all lose our sense of autonomy? It's because I wasn't there. If I had just stayed put, this would all... Mirari and Fuyu lament the state of their pack. With heavy hearts, they regret their absence in their pack's time of need and the consequences of their actions. Even if they weren't directly responsible for anything that has happened, they understand the impact of their decisions. The one who's trying to take over, does he have the support of the pack? Not especially. However, in a time that we've lost a great number of our members and everyone is frightened, a strong male presence is not to be underestimated. The pack needs a leader now more than ever. If this leader is left alone, it won't be long before he gains the pack's support. That is troublesome. When you say a strong male, do you mean... I meant that literally, yeah. To be blunt, even if you both fought him at once, you wouldn't stand a chance. If you are to defeat him in combat, you must come up with a solid strategy. Set traps, lure him onto thin ice, use weapons from this human's house, do whatever it takes. Is fighting really the only way? Even if we do defeat him, it won't bring back those who have already been killed. No, but it will secure your position as pack leader and restore the pack's stability. Even so, don't worry, Princess, you needn't lift a finger. I'll take care of that traitor all by myself. Fuyu, I understand how you feel, but I don't think you should take this man on solo. In a battle to the death, one more set of hands can easily sway the outcome. While the girls talk strategy, I head into the kitchen and start to make lunch. I try to focus on the task at hand, but for the most part, I find myself deep in thought. Tormented by the reality of what my guests will soon face, I begin to feel like our time together is finally about to come to an end. Having those two leave my home was supposed to be what I wanted from the very beginning. And yet, rather than see them off with a smile on my face, as I should have, I stopped them. Why? Why did I do that? Mirari and Fuyu are going to return to their pack. They will be reunited with their friends and family and resume their day-to-day lives. I'll return to my life of solitude. I won't need to take care of anyone else or show consideration for anyone else. I'll be able to live as I choose. That's what's best for everyone. I know it is. So why is it that I feel like I should get involved? It's because you should, Scarlet. You and Fuyu were just talking about this earlier. As the day drags on, a solemn atmosphere fills the cabin. Fuyu, desperate to protect Mirari, spends her time with their injured friend, thinking up ways to fight their common enemy. They look around the cabin for materials with which to fashion traps, talk about ways to rally the other wolves, and at all times seem to be taking the matter quite seriously. Mirari, on the other hand, separates herself from the others and sulks on her own. No doubt haunted by thoughts of her deceased mother, she remains silent, not saying or doing a thing, as she mourns all by herself. While the girls do as they see fit, I try to give them as much space as I can. Contrary to how I feel, I do realize that this is a half-wolf matter and not something which a human should get involved in. As much as it pains me to see the gentle, kind-hearted wolf girls in this state, I won't butt into their affairs. Hey, Scarlet, can you come here for a second? Sure, Fuyu, what's up? I was just wondering if we could borrow some rope and a couple of pieces of wood to make a trap? That's right. Can't make traps without materials, you know? Take as much as you need. They're just silent. So? Huh? Was there anything else? Oh, no, I just thought that maybe... Forget it, it's not important. I'll go back to planning now. For reasons beyond my comprehension, Fuyu hesitates to leave my side. Red in the face, she regretfully returns to her injured companion's side, then shoots one more glance in my direction before turning to work. Huh, I thought Mirai was the only one really shaken by all this, but it seems Fuyu isn't quite herself either. Yeah, it's because she's thinking about you, obviously. Maybe I should talk to Fuyu once she's finished planning everything out with her friend? This will likely be our last night under the same roof, after all. I'd hate for anything important to be left unsaid. Hell yeah. Absolutely, we have to talk. By the time Fuyu is finished making her preparations, night has already fallen. I start to cook dinner for the four of us, once again leaving the girls to their own devices. Shortly enough, a short while later, I hear the pitter-patter of stealthy footsteps behind me. It won't be ready for another 30 minutes, Fuyu. Ah! How did you... Mirari wouldn't try to sneak up on me like that, or eat half-cooked food for that matter. And the other girl's too injured to sneak around so quietly, so I figured it couldn't be her. I turned my head as I addressed Fuyu. While doing so, I finally realized something. Say, where are those two? They both gone in for a bath. Mirari insisted that the wounds should be cleaned properly, so it seems they might be in there for a while. Is that right? Well, whatever. I'm sure Mirari could use a distraction right now. Yes, perhaps so. Returning to the task at hand, I turn away from Fuyu and continue chopping up the potatoes. Hey, Scarlet. No, you can't have any while it's cooked. Until it's cooked. That's not what I was gonna ask. Suddenly, adopting a solemn tone of voice, Fuyu pinches the hem of my shirt. Scarlet, do you remember the night when I, imposed on you? You mean when you went into heat? What? No, I wasn't! It's nothing to be embarrassed about. I know that it isn't something you could control. So what about it? If I came to you like that again, what would you do? I place the knife in my hand down on the chopping board, then turn around to face Fuyu properly. When I do, I realize that Fuyu is fidgeting restlessly and her face is beet red. That's an unexpected question. I guess I could help you out again if you're okay with me being your partner. I don't know if we'll be able to do that though. With an extra person here, it might be difficult to do that undetected. It doesn't have to be tonight. Huh? I raise a brow as Fuyu stands before me. But you're leaving tomorrow, aren't you? If not tonight, then I'm gonna return here, okay? Once the princess and I have done what we need to, I'm gonna come back here, whether you want me here or not. We're gonna do what we did last time. No, we'll go even farther. Because, you know, I've already chosen you. Chosen me? I don't understand. Chosen me for what? Oh, jeez, can't you figure it out for yourself? That's why I can't stand humans. Listen here, Scarlet. Once the princess and I have fulfilled our duty, I'm gonna come straight back here, and we'll continue this conversation. Until then, wait for me, okay? Before I can ask Fuyu to elaborate, she quickly slinks away. Fuyu returns to the couch a minute before her fellow wolf girls leave the bathroom, giving me no opportunity to probe any further. Until this incident comes to an end, all I can do is speculate. That being said, perhaps I'm better off waiting for Fuyu to just tell me herself. Right now, giving off what she said to me, it almost sounds like... yeah, almost, huh? She wants me to become her mate. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Now we're cooking, dude. I'm freaking stoked. As the morning girl, sorry, Fuyu's still on the brain, sorry. As the morning sun rises, the inhabitants of my cabin all wake up bright and early. Following breakfast, some last-minute planning, and a few concerned comments from the only human present, we all meet in the living room one more time. I don't mean to rush you, princess, but if you're planning to lay traps before the confrontation, you'd best hurry. Time is of the essence. Your opponent will not wait for you to gather your wits. Yes, I know. We will leave momentarily. Fuyu, are you prepared to leave? Yes, princess. I am ready whenever you are. Excellent. In that case, we will not dally any longer. Smiling resolutely, Mirari turns to face me. Scarlet. Yes, Mirari? While it pains me to leave you like this, I promise that our parting will not be for long. The kindness you have shown me until now shall not be forgotten, nor will I ever regret the time we've spent together. As soon as I am able, I will come back here to see you. Of course, you're welcome anytime. The same goes for you, Fuyu. Don't be a stranger. That goes without saying. We already promised to meet again after everything is settled, didn't we? We sure did. Until then, if nothing more needs to be said, I believe it's time for us to head off. We'll be back as soon as we're able. However, should the worst happen, don't finish that sentence. You're both gonna be fine. In fact, I'm sure you'll be back here pestering me in no time. I do hope so. Bowing her head respectfully, Mirari turns around with a smile on her face. Fuyu, carrying some supplies I lent the girls, mimics Mirari's action, then follows straight after her. Mirari opens the door, ushering Fuyu out first, and follows her out into the snow. A moment later, the door is shut, and all at once, silence consumes the cabin once more. Alright, here we go. Left in the company of the injured wolf girl, I find myself pacing restlessly around the cabin as time slowly passes by, watching the clock, waiting for something to happen, praying that the girls will be okay. I can't bring myself to relax or to focus on anything unrelated to the wolf girl's plight. All I can do is curse my own inactivity as I worry about my former guests. Damn it, why am I getting so worked up over this? The girls are gonna be fine. They've been planning this attack carefully. That traitor has no idea they're coming for him. They have my map, some crude traps that they made, and probably even the support of those who followed Mirari's parents. They should be a walk in the park. Why do I? Oh, for goodness sake, just go already! I almost jumped in surprise as my remaining guest suddenly piped up. Excuse me? You heard me. You've been pacing around with that worried look on your face ever since those two left. If you're just gonna spend the entire time worrying about them, why don't you go chase after them? They should still be setting up, assuming they've even arrived yet, and if you hurry, you should be able to catch up to them. I shake my head and sigh. I can't do that. This is a half-wolf matter. A human like me shouldn't get involved. Oh, please, it's a little late to be saying that now. You're already involved, whether you like it or not. The injured wolf girl sits up on the couch and looks directly into my eyes. I don't know what's going on between the three of you in this cabin, but the smell of pheromones coming from those girls is overwhelming. Even if they won't admit it, I'm sure that at least one of them has their eyes set on you. As soon as you take one of them as your mate, you'll be part of our pack anyway. My eyes open wide as the wolf girl's words begin to register. Despite my insistence that I'm unrelated to this pack business and that I should keep my nose out of their affairs, it seems the girls do not feel the same way. Take one of them as my mate? It couldn't be, could it? What Fuyu was saying last night about her choosing me. No way. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Why not end your suffering and go after them? I'm sure they'll be happy to see you. Besides, the wolf girl's eyes suddenly narrow. They're gonna need all the help they can get. They what? What do you mean by that? Exactly what I said. We made all the preparations we could in a short amount of time, but I doubt that'll be enough. If it comes down to a direct confrontation between those two and the traitor, they will without a doubt be slaughtered. Slaughtered? No, but Mirari's the rightful heir, isn't she? Surely he'll give up, or other members of the pack will help him. I wouldn't count on that. The second he sees the princess, he will kill her, no matter who is around to witness such an act. Our pack responds to strength above all else. If the princess cannot defeat a potential usurper, then she will not be accepted anyway. No way, I thought facing this guy was a last resort, not a necessity. If those two have to fight him by themselves, they'll be... Hell yeah. Without another moment of thought, I run towards the storeroom and grab my axe. In response to my sudden action, the injured wolf girl smiles at me sincerely for the first time. Best of luck, human. Go and protect your mate, no matter what hardships lies in your wake. Hell yeah, let's go! Let's go. I'm still as hyped as I was the first time, dude. Anyway. Without sparing a moment to respond to the girl's words, I nod absentmindedly and rush out of the living room. I jump into my truck, placing my axe on my lap and start the engine. Before the injured girl can react to the noise of the engine, I drive into the snow, throwing caution to the wind as I follow the path Fuyu once led me down. Alright, this should be it. If I recall, the path is up here is... Where there was once a pile of snow blocking the path, there is now level ground. Whether someone cleared it out or nature has simply taken its course, I don't know. All I care about is the fact that I can keep driving right into the den of Fuyu and Mirari. Wait for me, girls. I'm coming. Let's go, Scarlet! I continue to drive through the snow, no longer sure of which direction I'm supposed to be heading. Having never gone this far around the mountain before, I have no way of knowing if I'm heading towards the girl's den or in the complete opposite direction. Damn it, what did that map say again? Ah, I knew I should have kept it in the truck. Just as frustration threatens to take over, I notice something in the distance. A few figures are moving around in the snow, two of them are quickly circling one another, while the third takes distance. As I grow closer, I recognize two of the figures. Fuyu, Mirari! And that must be... I clutch the axe resting on my lap as I focus on the third party. Facing off against Fuyu is a large creature, more wolf than man, easily several times her size. Fuyu is fighting, but clearly tired. Against the giant towering over her, she doesn't stand a chance. Shit, 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 shit! Rather than slow down, I press my foot against the accelerator even harder than before. My truck increases in speed, threatening to spin out of control at any moment as I rapidly approach my target. Fuyu, jump! What? Jumping out of the way just in time, Fuyu narrowly avoids being hit by my truck. Her opponent, however, is not so lucky. Shit, I'm losing control of the wheel! Damn it all! Without a moment to spare, I undo my seatbelt, grab my axe, and bail out of the truck. A few seconds later, the truck swerves off the side of the mountain, descending who knows how many miles before meeting its untimely demise. Scarlet? Why? How did you... talk later. I hit him pretty hard, but I don't think it'll be enough to kill that bastard. As if responding to my words, I feel a presence manifest behind me. I turn around, swinging my axe wildly, hoping to nail the wolf in the head. Unfortunately, my luck appears to have run out. Ah! Human filth! Ka! My axe strikes the wolf in what I assume to be his ribcage. Unfortunately, my attack only serves to enrage the beast. The next moment, he swipes his mighty claws sideways, ripping the axe from my hands. Before I could so much as reach for my weapon, the wolf pounces on me, pinning me to the ground. Die, human! My eyes widen as the wolf raises its claw. Pinned to the ground with no hope of escape, I watch in terror as the lumbering, razor-sharp appendage is swung down. With more weight and precision behind it than I would dare to imagine, time appears to slow to a halt as death beckons to me all too soon. Get away from my mate. Hell yeah! Let's go! Gah, stupid little... Come here. Princess, you'll pay for that, traitor. The moment I resigned myself to death, I opened my eyes to find an unbelievable sight. Despite the difference in their size and the sheer hopelessness of our situation, Mirari and Fuyu are desperately fighting off the alpha male. You girls, what are you doing? You should have taken the opportunity to run away. And leave you here to die over my dead body. That's exactly my point. You're outmatched, there's no way we can win. But if you two had fled, you could have at least saved yourself. You're one to talk. Why did you come here? You should have stayed in your cabin and traded that girl. Why did you have to meddle in our affairs? Why? I rise to my feet, grabbing my axe as I do. Isn't it obvious? I came to save my mate. Thunk. Wow, the human again. Die, you miserable piece of whack. Arrgh. With the two wolf girls holding our opponent back, I land two clear, heavy blows straight to the alpha male's head. It isn't enough to knock him unconscious, but for the first time since the girls enraged him, he appears to be weakening. Unfortunately, his strength is still too much for the girls to bear. The two of them are tossed about as though they are weightless, using all of their strength to merely hang off the wolf's limbs as he moves about. Pain spreads on the girls' faces. They won't last much longer. You bastard! Take your hands off her! Whack. Ah! You worthless! Whack. Ah! I strike the wolf again and again, ignoring every warning my body gives me as I push myself far beyond my limits. My axe splinters, but remains in one piece. Even as it collides with the wolf's thick skull, it somehow avoids destruction. Only good for one more strike. I raise my axe over my head and put an end to the fight, once and for all. Hell yeah. Not so tough now, huh? Are ya? Barely able to stand, I limp over to the unconscious wolf's ragged body. Wielding half of a wooden axe, which is now only good for stabbing prey with the broken end, I bring my weapon to the wolf's face. Scarlet, stop. Please, that's enough. The princess is right. Scarlet, lower your weapon. The pack will take care of the rest. Turning to face the girls, I regrettably drop my weapon. Even if I wanted to finish our opponent off, the truth is I don't have the strength. Scarlet, I can't believe you. How could you follow us here, even knowing what dangers might await? Be it a loss for blood, my overwhelming exhaustion, or a rare chink in the wall around my heart, I respond thusly. How could I not come here when my mate was in danger? What are you... It is true that I said something like that, maybe, in the heat of the moment, but you're the only one, Fuyu. I told you that already. Fuyu's face turns bright red as I make her remember the night she came to me. Just for that, you came out here in search of me. You fought that monster. You put your life in danger. How could you do something so reckless and stupid for a reason like that? Fuyu makes her way over to my side and immediately punches me in the chest. Idiot, you stupid human. I can't believe you. What kind of fool would do such a thing like that for someone like me? You're so... Fuyu grasps the front of my shirt and begins quietly sobbing into my shoulder. Idiot, I hate you so much. I know, Fuyu, I know. Enduring Fuyu's dishonesty, I wrap my arms around her. No matter what she says, it's clear that above all, what Fuyu feels is relief. Together, we have fought and won. No amount of sass is gonna change that. Hell yeah. While their pack carts off the alpha male, Mirari, Fuyu, and I take our leave. Let's freaking go! Hell yeah. We slowly trudge through the snow, heading back to my cabin with clear exhaustion and relief painted on all of our faces. Finally, it's over. Let's go! When we return to our cabin, Mirari takes it upon herself to nurse her injured friend. She tells the injured girl of everything that happened, including the very many embarrassing things that were said. Thankfully, by the time she gets to that part, I have already left the room. And so has Fuyu. So, here we are again. I'm gonna ask this once, just to make sure, but are you really okay with this? I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. Stupid Scarlet. Fuyu tries her best not to smile as she nervously walks over to my bed. Despite her words, I can see Fuyu's tail wagging as she walks, and the lingering thread of a smile attempting to form on her lips. Fuyu, I know this is hard for you, but you don't need to keep your guard raised around me anymore. That's no way to enter into a relationship. Relation? What are you talking about? Who would want to enter a relationship with you? You do, Fuyu. The moment I said the word relationship, your tail started wagging like crazy, and you finally broke into a smile. No, that was a mistake. My body is, honest. Chuckling to myself, I sit beside Fuyu. You know, Fuyu, I have no intention of forcing you to do anything. If you can say to me honestly that you have no desire to go any further than this, then I won't press the matter. But you know, I wrap my arm around Fuyu's waist, causing her to jump in fright. Despite her anxiety, however, Fuyu does not pull away from me. Fuyu, when you screamed at that wolf earlier, telling him to get away from my mate, I was overjoyed. Not only that, you immediately thrust yourself into danger, trying desperately to keep him from harming me. Your words may be harsh sometimes, Fuyu, but I can see how deeply you care for others. And of course, if you'll still take me, I would very much like to be one of those loved ones whom you hold dear. You're reading too much into this. I was just trying to protect the princess, that's all. When I called you my mate, I wasn't thinking straight. It was the heat of the moment, and was it really? Fuyu lets a faint whimper as I draw my face closer to hers. Blushing furiously, she casts her gaze downward, desperate to avoid making eye contact. You know, Fuyu, when I was speaking to your injured friend earlier, she told me that she was overwhelmed the moment she walked into this cabin. Apparently, either you or Mirari have been excreting pheromones like crazy. Do you know anything about that? Further lowering her head, Fuyu hides her face as best she can. How could I know something like that? I didn't smell any stupid pheromones. Really? Yes, really. I see. I let out a sigh, which after a smile immediately forms on my face. If you can't smell them, then they must be yours after all, Fuyu. What? Fuyu raises her face, unveiling to me an expression of utter shock. How could that be possible? Why would I be releasing Yeah. Fuyu lets out a cute yelp as I place my hand on her thigh. Give up the act, Fuyu. You can't deceive your mate. There you go again, calling yourself my mate so brazenly. You started it, Fuyu. It was only for a short while, but for a moment there, you finally started showing me your honest side. Now, would you show it to me one more time? I place my free hand on Fuyu's face and guide her towards me, making her look me in the eye once more. I like you, Fuyu. I think that we have a lot in common, despite our different upbringings. Yes, you, who defends her heart desperately, and me, a girl who once abandoned everyone and everything she held dear. Maybe it's because we've both taken similar paths in life, but I feel that in the short time we've been together, we've grown closer than I thought I'd ever become with someone else ever again. Still holding Fuyu's cheek in my hand, I slowly bring my face closer to hers. Fuyu, I want to stay with you, whether it's here in this cabin, back in your den, or anywhere else. But at the same time, I have no intention of living with someone who doesn't return my feelings. So, I'm leaving the choice up to you. If you're willing to take a chance on me and open your heart for once, then I'll do the same. If not, all you have to do is leave, and I won't pursue this matter any further. Fuyu remains silent for a while. Neither speaking nor getting up to leave, she sits in the one spot, unmoving, staring into my eyes. Seeing this, I don't try to rush her. This is an important decision, and it isn't one that people like us can make easily. Whatever conclusion she comes to, I will honor it. Scarlet, I like you too. You do. Nod. I don't know about, cooking or cleaning or any of that stuff the princesses learn, but if you're sure about this, about me, then I bring my face closer and plant a short, soft kiss on Fuyu's cheek. I'm sure. Then Fuyu goes to turn away, then stops herself. As hard as this is for her, she tries her best to continue making eye contact with me. Scarlet, like I said, I don't really know about this stuff, so if you would, yeah, I understand. Leave it all to me. Alright, welcome to the other side of the ecchi scene. Dude, Fuyu is best girl for sure. Oh, it's so good. Anyway. Alright. Gotta take a quick drink. Sorry, can't get the cap on. Anyway. In the aftermath, we lay in each other's arms, our breathing becoming less labored with each passing breath. I love you, Scarlet. Heart filled with warmth, I gently kiss her forehead. I love you too. Aw, dude, my heart, I can't take it, the feels! Let's go. In the time since Fuyu and I first became intimate, our daily lives have undergone a number of drastic changes. With the blessing of the new pack leader Mirari, as well as Fuyu's parents, I was officially recognized as a new member of the pack. True to Fuyu's words, the human aspect of myself was more difficult for them to accept than us being both women. But through making myself useful and Fuyu advocating for me, the novelty of being a human in the pack soon wore off and I was integrated fully. And soon after this, I was given an important duty along with Fuyu. Oh my god, dude! Look at the little wolf kids! Oh my god! I can't even, dude. I can't even. Look at Fuyu! Wow, I'm not worthy. That's amazing, dude. I'm so gonna save this as a wallpaper. To take care of the pack's cubs. Hey, there's no need for that. Look, there's plenty for everyone, okay? Grr. I said stop that. If you two start fighting again, so help me, I'll... Whoa, easy there, you three. What seems to be the problem here? Ah, dear. They're fighting over breakfast again. Seriously? I thought I made enough for everyone. You did. It wasn't the quantity that matters. They each want what the other one has. Sheesh, aren't they a bit too young for sibling rivalry? They can't even talk yet. They shouldn't be fighting. Tell me about it. Fuyu picks up one of the cubs while I hold on to the other in order to separate them. Now, you two listen up. If you don't stop fighting, us mamas aren't going to feed either one of you. Understand? Despite her tender, loving tone of voice, Fuyu's threat is both real and terrifying. The cub in my hands turns around and looks at me. I wink. Don't even think about asking her. Scarlet, you're way too lenient. They'll grow up spoiled. Don't say that. You say that, and yet... Fuyu spoils them just as much as I do, if not more so. I shake my head and smile. Fuyu smiles as well, giggling to herself as she guesses what's on my mind. No matter how much chaos the cubs cause, and how many sleepless nights they give us, they are still the pack's beloved children and ours as well. And I wouldn't trade this life away for anything. Oh my god, dude! Oh my god! I'm gonna cry. That picture was so sweet. My heart like exploded. My heart like exploded, dude. So I absolutely need to grab these. So I need to grab the pictures from the gallery here, which I'll definitely do. Anyway, that was awesome. That was awesome. I'm so happy. That was great, dude. That was so good. And yeah, that's the show. We did it. That is both endings. There is 2 bad endings, but obviously we're not gonna see those. Anyway, that was so good, dude. It was so short, but like it was short but great. It was a good time. And at the end of it, I mean, this will be whatever, an hour, and I mean at the moment we're at an hour and 15 right now, but after I edit out that one ecchi scene, it'll probably be a few minutes shorter, but not much. So it's whatever, hour 10 or something. Anyway, and so yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, it is enough that like I technically could have tacked it on to the other episode, like, cause that would have been whatever, approximately an hour and a half, or like 4.5 hours or whatever, or you know, approximately. But I don't know, like ultimately though, like at the time I was low on time and stuff, and so it's like I see why I didn't do it. But anyway, that was so good. Oh man, that was so good. Like, that was awesome, man. I loved it. Fuyu is best girl. That was so good. And like my heart, my heart melted, man, when she was just seeing her holding all holding the little wolf kids, and like her and Scarlet so happy. Oh, it's so good, dude. Can't even take it. It's so awesome. Anyway, that was great. So, so ends another visual novel. Obviously, this one was much shorter than our last one. That's for sure. Technically, I guess I could find something else to do for the day, because I could record whatever another hour. Because if it was 15, that'd be 30. I mean, 2 hours, really, actually. I was thinking that was only 2, but no, I could record. I have like another 2-hour thing. So really, I guess I might choose part 1 of our brand new main game, whatever it is. And yeah, we might start that. I mean, I could put something random up as well, something unrelated, and then start a new main game Sunday, I suppose. I don't know. I'm gonna have to give it some thought on what's coming out, on what else is coming. But for now, at least we finished this. This was so good, dude. It was so short, but so cute. I have lots of visual novels on Steam, and some other games too, but lots of visual novels especially. And we'll definitely be doing more of this stuff. I love this stuff a lot. I love these relationship stuff. I love all this stuff. It means a lot to me. So that was fantastic. Fuyu is best girl. I already saved some of the gallery images that we got yesterday. I'm gonna grab a couple of the new ones today, and I'm gonna save those as well. And oh, that was so good, man. So good. That was awesome. Highly recommend it. And the adult patch that gets added is added as free DLC. So if you are playing this game and you want that, just grab the free DLC. All you have to do is just You know, just download it, and then it automatically installs and stuff, and nothing else required. And yeah, that was so good. That was so good. It was a short and sweet one, but hey, that was a good time. So yeah, I don't know what's coming next, so rapidly I have to figure out what else I'm recording, whether it's something random or part one of another main game, whatever it is. And yeah, so I need to get to that, and so that there might be something else coming for today. I also might be like, whatever, screw it, and not do that, but I will probably record something else. So anyway, but as far as I know, I'll probably record something else today, and then this weekend, for my weekend, Sunday, Monday should be pretty normal. I don't foresee anything crazy, so that should be pretty much everything. I will tell you that very soon, probably over the weekend, I did finish my anime, and I recorded a positive anime review earlier today, and so this weekend that'll probably go up, something like that, and so something like that. Anyway, that is going to call for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later.